Welcome to my greenhouse build vlog. It's not a how-to, it's just how I worked it out as I went along. It may not be perfect, but it's how I did it. Enjoy. Today I've been setting in these concrete blocks into the ground so that when I build the wood frame on top, it's not going to just rot into the mud. So it's been quite time consuming, but I've got that line set in. I've got enough blocks for the back bit, but I've got to find some more for this front section. But if we come over, that's the spirit level. It's pretty level. Now, I am not looking for perfect, excuse me while I slide around, but I think that's going to be quite sufficient. But as you can see, this end is a lot drier, but I haven't got the time today to work on this bit. Well, today I spent way too long only doing this much, but once you get the base right, the rest goes faster. So I've got the uprights in. I need to put cross beams across the top, and then I can work it on more uprights, smaller ones for the glass to go in, because that's what I'm working on the measurements by, how the glass fits. It's taking forever, but I'll get there eventually. Well, that's enough for today. So, we have the base level of it, and then we have a second level that I've screwed in. We have all the uprights screwed in, and I've used a spirit level and tightened or loosened the screw to give me the leeway. Come round over here. I've attached each of the planks together with little brackets like that. So you've got two brackets on there because that's just one big long piece. But on here we've got one long piece at the bottom and then two joint ones. So there's a metal bracket to join the two of those, but then two brackets to tie in the two levels, and then at the front there's two brackets. I'm going to leave that as a kind of step over the entrance, just to make the structure stronger. So here it is. You've got a bit like the glass greenhouse next door. I've got one level for the glass to go up, and then the roof is going to be an apex roof and slope up to the middle on top of the door. So we've got the bottom bits, we've got those uprights. I have yet to put in any of the middle, I say middle, it's going to be 2 uprights on each side to help support the glass. Those haven't gone in at all yet, and of course the roof will be the last thing to complete, but I'm getting there slowly. So today I've struggled with putting in the top beam and getting the height and the position right for the 2 supports. So I've been going around in circles with it. I finally got it done, and let me show you by resting a piece of wood on what my plan is to do next. So I know that's just a rough piece of wood, but they might just about be the right size. So I've got to screw them along the top beam and then attach them somehow on the sides, and then I will have a roof. Well, the framework of one anyway. So a couple of weeks ago we got the roof done, well, the support for it, but of course I've got lots of offcuts of wood, so I've got to clear them out of this bottom bit, and I want to construct the raised beds that will contain the soil, because I'm not putting slabs in apart from that very middle bit. And I'm thinking of trying to back it with some corrugated metal so that the soil isn't in contact with the wood, but we'll see how that goes. I don't know if I have enough. So yep, time to tidy up. So now, if you look, there's a big U-shaped bed in the greenhouse. So you've got the slabs and then the wood to retain it. Can you see just how solid this clay is and cracking up? So I've been working on compost today. Now really I should have put the plastic in. I've decided that tin is not enough, so I'm just going to use black plastic. So I have to pull back this compost and staple black plastic around all this bottom wood on both the ends, both that bit and around there. I've also got some uprights to put in at the back, but I'm one step closer. I'm a bit of a mess, got mud on my t-shirt, probably on my face, but it's all worth it. So this is the progress. I've got the plastic in, I've got the soil in, but I haven't stapled it all because I've still got some uprights to do and the glass, then it can be stapled. But I'm quite pleased with how it's looking. So I think it will work out quite well with the patio in front of the greenhouse. I obviously still need to flatten and slab the path here. I even had enough broken bits to do a bit at the back here. Not perfect, but it will help. Well, that's this flattened, not totally level, but it's relatively level, flattened black plastic on, and now I need to move some slabs onto there So it's done now. So you can walk up here nicely, all the way up to the compost bin. And there's even some slabs along by these compost bins. So much better. So this has had 2 coats of undercoat. Sometime next week I will try and put the gloss on the outside, and then I can start installing the glass. I'm happy with the progress. Well, it doesn't look much different, but it's got its coat of gloss paint on, so that should be most of the painting done for now. So I'm trying to install this first front left-hand side of glass, but to be able to do that, what I have done is I have screwed a small button to the back here. I've also put this spirit level here, and I've screwed it in one side. I'm just adjusting it so that I can get the bubble in the middle. Down a little bit. There. And then I will screw that one in. So I've put in this right hand piece of wood just for now to make sure the glass doesn't knock or blow out. It's not perfect, but it gives me an idea of what I need to do. And hopefully if we get some sun tomorrow, I can come down and do some more. I have a long piece along the bottom. I've put a long piece along the top, and I've slid the glass in. I've got the greenhouse clips there, so I've slid them in, so you've got like, there's a gap with the on the upright where there's no glass, and then I've screwed a plank over it to secure it in, and I put another plank here. I might not use planks, I might use thinner wood on the ends, but that's how I'm glazing the sides. I have So I am glad that this glazing is still intact. Saying that, virtually every pane I've fitted has had an issue, but down there I've got a crack, but it is below the wood line, so that's fine. I'll just tape it, it won't get any worse. But unfortunately I don't have time to do anything to that. But yeah, 2 sides is better than nothing. So I've put in these 3 uprights here, which are the right size for the smaller panes of glass I've got. So I'll put in 6 panes there. I have some glass from a display cabinet that will go in there up to about there, and then I'll find a little filler piece for the top. So those now need painting. But what I have done is I've put in these 2. I had 2 big, kind of 2 medium, because this bottom one goes a bit deeper than the white paint there, and I worked out they're just about the right size to go in there. I've had to loosen some screws to be able to slip it in, but then I've redone them up. So I'm going to put the same in that right hand front, and of course I need to clean the glass. I can't put the glass in the back section until I've painted the wood, but I'm getting closer. I'm glad I found that these bits of glass fitted, because it means I don't have to mess around with more smaller bits of wood. One step closer. The way I've fitted them is just the same as the sides. There's glass at the front, and I'll do the same at the back, with a bit of wood at the bottom if I need it, to keep the glass pane in place, and then slipping it in. Well, that's the front two panes on each side, washed, and cleaned as best as I can. There's a bit of old, I think, the like sticky lead stuff that I can't get off at the moment. And there's a bit of a mark up there, but that'll do for now. And of course the back uprights are all painted. I think it's time to paint the back with some gloss. Because thinking about it, I can't fit the glass until the gloss has dried. Okay, I had to refix a broken bit of glass down here. Can you see the curve going up round there? So that will get covered by the black plastic, so that won't be seen. But from yesterday's fitting the glass, obviously the wood has swelled a bit, and in the corner it's broken, but that's fine. That won't be seen either. That one, the same thing happened to it. Corner broke. I'll tape that. And here, same thing happened, but again, that won't be seen. It'll get covered by the black plastic. So there are some disadvantages to fitting the glass this way. Now I need to put the glass in the back here. So I've put these 3 pairs of panes of glass in along here, and those 2 brown bits of wood are just temporary uprights. If I come around to the front of the greenhouse, you can see they're in like that. I still have to wash this side of the glass, and then I need to put some glass in there. Then it's the fun of finding bits of wood to go around the edge and uprights. Then, of course, there's the roof and the door. So around the back, you've got this long piece, and then the uprights keeping the glass in. I've yet to do the far end, and here, but you have it down the bottom. And then if we come around to the front, I've done it both sides, doing that butt bit up there, a little thin bit, and around there. So I've framed the 2 front windows, and that's taken ages. So I have glazed the back, and the 2 side panels here and here, they actually slide like that, so I can take them out for ventilation, or I can, with 2 hands, I can slide them back in. Let's see if I can do it with 1 hand. Yeah, that's better. And then that slid back in. So I have a way to ventilate it in the summer. I may well just take those triangles out for the summer and put them back in for the winter. But that is the back triangles glazed without having to cut any glass. Obviously I need to paint it, but with the look of the sky now, I don't think it's going to dry. So I'll have to paint it another day, because it's quite dim and cloudy now. Well, I finished glazing the front, back and sides, apart from the door. So I've done those two, and they are sandwiched in. The ones at the back are done. All I need to do is paint it, and I need to construct a door. And I think I'm going to buy a couple of vents for the top. I'm pleased with the work. So I changed my mind. I didn't use these L brackets. I've just screwed it in. Because I'm going to have more cross pieces, I figure it should strengthen it up enough. So for the bottom half of the door, I've screwed in these extra battens, and what I will be doing is cutting these to size, so then they will sit and be screwed in to the horizontal battens. So it's not quite tongue and groove, but almost. But obviously I need to cut these old bed slats to the right size. So I've dropped these bed slats into here. I had to cut that one thinner, but because I've got that circular saw, I was just about able to do it. Now I just got to screw these in and then put some beading on that bit where the glass is going to go, so it's going to hold the glass in. Well, that's the bed slats screwed into the door. Now I just need to put a bit of beading in for the glass, and then I can put the glass in. Oh, and of course I need to screw the hinges in. But I'm happy with how it's looking. It looks tidy. Let me show you what I've done. We've got a bolt there. This bit of glass slides so that I can have it ventilated or not ventilated. That's keeping it shut. There's a bit of wood here for it to close against, and so there's a bit of a lip all the way around the edge, and then on the bottom, on the back of the door here, I've put diagonal to help strengthen it. What I mean is these brown diagonals, I've had to add in 3 each side so that the glass rests correctly, so that I can secure it on with some other bits of wood on top. So that's all I'm doing to the greenhouse today. I'll probably paint it tomorrow. So this is how it's looking. I've painted the door, I've done the door frame, I've done all the diagonals there, I've done the little triangular bits, I've done the bits at the back. So I've just screwed this in and screwed it kind of into there, along there. So when I put the glass on, it should stop. It's sliding off, but the water can still go through. So it's not perfectly clean. It's resting on there. The glass is resting on this, and then a screw will go in there, and then the glass will just rest on here. The next pane will go over to there. So here it is. Now I know that piece is broken, but that doesn't affect the inside of the greenhouse. That's why I've used those pieces on the edge. Obviously I need to put something along the ridge here, but it's not perfect, but it does the job. Nearly there. Well, that's better. Now there is an even amount of gap at the top that I need to fill in with the capping thing, and these have got 2 panes each, which is the same as this side. Morning. So I've been trying to work out how to do this ridge cap thing, and I had a look at the local DIY stores, and it's still too expensive. But my husband actually made a couple of suggestions last night, and I thought, nah, that won't work, it won't be strong enough. But thinking about it, he said, what about the damp proof membrane? Because last winter, something like that, I redid my shed roof with the damp proof membrane, and it's been fine. It's stood up to being in the sun, it hasn't cracked, it's still waterproof. And I've only got to fill, I think it's 35 centimetres in total, across the ridge. So my thought is, luckily I don't have to buy any more, because I've got some left over from the shed, and it's more than long enough and it's more than wide enough. So if I possibly fold it over, put it over the ridge, I know it probably doesn't make sense, but I think just about worked out how to do it on the cheap without spending more money. We'll see how it goes. Well, I've cut the plastic slightly, only just to straighten it up slightly. I've folded it, measured it to be 40 centimetres wide, and I've put a bit of tape along the adjoining edge. I've kind of squished it down so that it's got, folds that have been pressed out in the plastic. And now I need to go put it on top of the greenhouse temporarily to double check what length I need and that it's actually wide enough in all the places before I start doing anything else to it. So, and that's folded over, so I think that's 3 thicknesses wide. Let's have a look. 3 full thicknesses and a little half bit. So, should be thick and strong enough. So this is it, just resting. It does overlap the glass. And from the inside, it's not too bad. So I think what I'm going to have to do is attach a long wooden batten along both of these long sides so that the wind doesn't kind of flip stuff up. And I need to put in the white pane joiners. So I've screwed in these battens at the bottom and worked my way back from the front to the back at the top. Now I've got to do the same thing on the other side of the greenhouse, and then I can think about putting the top ridge bar on. Excuse the noise, that's just the helicopter. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. So I've been working on something to stop the pigeons landing on the top of the roof, on the ridge, and pooping. And what I've done is this. I've got a cane that is the length of the roof, and I've secured these cable ties all the way along, and I will attach this to the roof, and then the pigeons or any other big birds can't land on there. I know this thing with cable ties works because I've done it on my swing chair at home. So it's almost done. I just need to do a little lip at the front and fill in those two triangles. The anti-bird landing thing is this. Let me see if I can zoom in for you. So cable ties, black cable ties along a cane that's just along the roof. So it's lightweight. If it does happen to blow off, it won't damage anything, but those spikes mean that the birds can't land on the top. This is what it looks like from the inside. So it doesn't cast too much shadow, just a little bit. But you can see there's a good, I don't know, 3 or 4 centimetres overlap on top of the glass. And this is sandwiched between that bit of wood and that bit of wood. So it's quite taut. Here we have it. The door, the side, the ridge along the top, and what I filled in with wood at the front. I've also done the doorstop there and there. So next time I'm down, I just need to paint, and then that's it. I can get on with other stuff. Oh, here it is. I've painted the front. We've got the door, weather lock, a spiky bit on the top, and if I come over here, that's the roof with cable ties to stop the birds landing on it. Damp-proof membrane for the ridge because I only had like 27 centimetres to fill. And of course, the inside needs a weed, and the basil's going to seed, and it needs more soil